Hi, it's Amy. Today I'm here to take you through a Pilates class that is going to focus on basic core exercises for low back pain. Let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and lie down on your back, knees bent, feet on the mat about hip width apart. We're going to start with some basic pelvic tilts. On your exhale, you're going to draw your navel in, lift the bottom tip of your tailbone and pubic bone up into a pelvic tilt. And then on your inhale, release that. Reach your tailbone towards your feet, creating a little bit of space under your low back. On your exhale, draw your navel in. Pubic bone, bottom tip of the tailbone come towards you, flattening your back into the mat. And inhale and reach towards your feet. Keep moving with your breath. We're just trying to create a little bit of movement in the pelvis. Connect to your breath. Every time you exhale, you should feel your navel draw in, pelvic floor muscles lift up. And just a couple of more here. Anterior tilt and posterior. And then one more time, reaching your tailbone for your feet. And then you'll just want to settle into a neutral spine. You should feel your ribs anchor down, bottom tip of your tailbone anchor down, and just a slight amount of space under your low back. You don't want to be pushing your low back into the mat. Now, maintaining this neutral spine, we're going to start to move around it. So we'll inhale to prepare. On your exhale, lift your arms, reach overhead. Inhale, shoulder blades down, reach for your feet. Exhale, overhead. Now, when you do this, just make sure that your ribs aren't lifting. Your back's not arching. You'll just want to move your arms in the range that you can, maintaining that neutral spine. That's where we have the least amount of pressure and impact on the discs. I'm going to keep those natural curves of your spine. Now, you can stay here if that feels good to you, or we'll build to a chest lift. So on your exhale, as you bring your arms down, you'll lift head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, lower down, reach. Exhale, curl up to your chest lift, shoulder blades down, gaze at your knees. You'll maintain your neutral spine. You don't want to tuck your pelvis here. So keep that tailbone heavy on the mat. And exhale, curl, reach. Inhale. Always make sure the navel is drawing into your spine. That's going to ensure you're using your deepest core muscles. You don't want to see that the muscles are poofing out. We've got one more right here. Curl up, reach. And lower down, arms down by your side. Now let's start to move the legs around that neutral spine. So inhale to prepare. On your exhale, go ahead and float the left leg up to tabletop. Inhale, tap it down, and exhale, back up. We want to ensure that we're moving from the center of the body here. So use that exhale, feel like you're floating the leg up rather than just picking it up with the thigh muscles. And then let's do a few on the right leg. So we'll inhale to prepare. On your exhale, floating it up. So maintaining that neutral spine. Don't let your spine tuck as you come up or arch as you go down. Just go 3 more here. And last one. Now, building on that, we're going to float both legs up to tabletop. So on our exhale, let's go ahead and float that left leg to tabletop. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, float the right leg up to tabletop. And again, feeling that tip of the tailbone heavy. Ribs anchor down. Just a little bit of space under your low back. And then left leg down. Just tap the right leg down and float it back up. And left leg up. And right leg down. Just tap that left leg and float it back up. So all of this work should be in your abs. You shouldn't feel like your low back is tensing here. You shouldn't feel a lot of work in your legs. Tap that right leg down. Float it back up. Float the left leg up. And let's see here. We're going back to those arm marks. So inhale, reach overhead. If it works for your body on your exhale, you're going to curl up that head, neck, and shoulders. Look at your knees. Check in that abs are pulled in. Spine is still neutral. We haven't tucked up. And inhale, lower down. And exhale, abs draw in. Curl up. Shoulder blades pulling down the back. This one, you're going to curl up and hold it. We're going into our Pilates 100, which is a breathing exercise. So we pump our arms strongly. We inhale for 5 of these pumps, and then you exhale for 5 of these pumps. Generating heat in the center of your body. So all of your work really should be in your abs here. If you start to feel that your neck is getting tired, you can just go ahead and set your head down and keep pumping your arms. If you feel okay, keep it curled up. If your low back would start to get tired here, you can just go ahead and set your legs down and keep pumping right here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more breath. Blow out your air. And hold that position. Take one leg down, other leg down, and set your head down too. Now, knees and feet together. You're going to just place your hands onto your hip bones to ensure that they stay level and our bent knee fall out. So, on the next exhale, you are going to press the left leg out to the side, only as far as you can, maintaining the stability on your right. You don't want to see that your pelvis rocks to the side, and pull it back up. We'll just stay on that left side. Our focus really being the stability on the right side. Always moving with your breath. It doesn't matter exactly where that breath comes, but every time you exhale, you'll want to feel a greater drawing in of your transverse abdomenis, a lift of your pelvic floor. Make sure the ribs are still anchored down. Pelvis is neutral. Feel this motion coming from the left sit bone. So from behind the hip, you press it down and lift it up. One more left leg. Reset to a neutral spine. Now the left side is stabilizing us and the right hip is moving. Pressing from that right sit bone and lifting back up from that right sit bone. So you have energy behind that right hip. Only moving in the range where you can stabilize yourself on the left side. Go 3 more. And last 2. And last 1. All right, now let's float the left leg up to tabletop. If it works in your practice, you can go ahead and bring the hands behind the head, curl up the head, neck, and shoulders. Spine is neutral, navel in, hips anchored down. We've got a single leg stretch. So on my exhale, I'm going to press that left leg straight and pull it back in on the inhale. So again, I'm really stabilizing on my right side and then using my center to move this left leg. So I want to see any arching or rounding of the back. You can always take the leg up a little bit higher if that's easier for your back. Last one left. And set that left leg down. Rest the head, neck, and shoulders down. You're welcome to do this exercise just with the head down. Float that right leg up. And on your exhale, press it out and pull it in. If you'd like, you can take up the head, neck, and shoulders. Feeling that stability on the left side of your core. Moving your right leg around it. Use your breath to get deeper into those low abs. And I've got 2 more. And lower down. I'm going to turn over onto my side. Keep turning and pressing up to hands and knees. So now we're going into a few cat-cows, just like you did those pelvic tilts on your back. So we're inhale to prepare. On your exhale, drop your head down. Drop your tailbone down to create some roundness, especially in the low back. And then on your inhale, reaching your head and chest forward, reaching the tailbone back. And exhale, drop the head. Tailbone forward towards the pubic bone, lifting low abs up and in, and lifting the pelvic floor up as well. Inhale, and exhale. Tailbone forward towards the pubic bone, head drops down, tailbone, sit bones drop down, and then head lifts up, and sit bones lift up too. And now we're just going to reset to a neutral spine, where we're neither arched nor tucked, but your back is pretty flat. And then we're going to want to move around that. So I'm going to go ahead and lift my left arm up, really focusing on the core stability on the left side of your low abs, your left hip, and that connection between your left hip and your right hand. That's going to stay stable as we move our left arm around it. So I'm going to inhale and reach that arm up over our head, and exhale, pull the left shoulder down the back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Your breath can really be in either way. Just make sure you stay connected to it and allow the breath to help you get deeper into your low abs. Staying really steady through the center and the pelvis. Pulling that left shoulder blade down the back as you bend your elbow. Imagine you're doing a row. And last one. Left hand down. Reset. Make sure you're still in that neutral spine. Go ahead and lift the right arm up. So we're feeling now the work in the right side of our core, right hip, left shoulder down the back, and feel that connection between your left hand and right knee. Let's start to move around our core here. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull that elbow back into a row. Right shoulder blade pulling down the back. Every exhale, you lift that navel to the spine. Sit bones, bottom tip of the tailbone, lift on an imaginary line up towards your navel to engage your pelvic floor. Last 2. And last one. Right hand down. So I'm going to sit back, shake my wrists out a little bit, and we're going back to all fours. In our neutral spine, we're going to start to move the legs around our neutral pelvis. So, on my exhale, I'm going to lift the left leg, the foot straight up to the ceiling, really focusing again on this right core, right hip, and the connection over to the left hand. So I'm going to inhale down, exhale, lift only as far as I can without arching my back. So you should feel the work in the glutes here, really on both sides, the left pushing you up, the right stabilizing you. You should feel your abs lifting up and in, You should not feel that your low back muscles are working here. If so, you might just want to keep it a little bit lower. Make sure that your pelvis stays level. Both hips are pointing straight down to the mat. You don't want to be twisting in your spine right now. I'm going to lift on my exhale. And 3. And 2. And last one. And left knee down. Reset to neutral spine. I'm going to prepare to lift that right leg. So really finding my stability on the left core, hip. And inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift that right leg up. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, lift. Right glute lifting. Feel the left glute engaged a bit to stabilize. Navel lifting up to your spine. Got 3 more. And last one. Knee down and lower down. I'm onto my right side. So first finding a stable position here in side lying. So you've got your ribs back, your navel into the spine, and then you're just going to slightly press the tailbone forward towards your pubic bone. You're going to think about your sit bones, the bottom tip of the tailbone, lifting up on an imaginary line towards your navel. That's going to assure a lift of the pelvic floor. So maintaining all of that as we go into a clam. I'm going to squeeze my heels together, and on the exhale, lifting that left knee up. Go ahead and put your hand right here on your left hip. You just want to make sure that you're not rolling back and losing any of that neutral pelvis. So you're going to lift that left leg on your exhale. You're really going to maintain the stability on the right side of your core. That's your stabilizing side here in this case. You're going to feel that left glute working. You're going to feel your abs pulling in as you lift up. And you don't want to feel any tension in your back. Check in, ribs are still back. Tailbone slightly forward towards the pubic bone. And we've got 3, 2, and 1. Next in this side lying series, we'll keep that same stability. Keep moving your left hip, and you're lifting straight up, left leg. Use that left glute. I still like to keep my hand here on my left hip just to monitor that I'm not hiking my hip up if you come too high. Lift on your exhale. Focus on that stability on the right side of your core. Keeping your pelvis stable is going to set you up to have good glute work on that left side. And we've got 3, and 2, and 1. Lower down. All right, one more variation here. We're going to lift that left leg up. And the motion here is to press the left leg straight and pull it back in. Press it straight, feeling the right navel pull into the spine, that right pelvic floor lifting up. And just only moving that left leg in the range where you're really stable and neutral through your pelvis. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, press it out. Feel like you're working from that left sit bone, pressing from the left sit bone, and even as you pull that leg up, you've got energy behind the hip. And we've got 2 more. And the last one. I'm going to go ahead and just roll over onto my back, take a quick stretch of that left hip. So left leg crosses over the right, reach through, pull the right leg up, and feel that stretch in your left glute. Great. Go ahead, lower down. Just going to swing on over to your left side to repeat all of that. Just taking a moment, getting a good setup here. Ribs back, navel in, and tailbone just slightly forward towards your pubic bone, that imaginary lift from your sit bones, bottom tip of the tailbone up towards your navel, feeling the engagement of the pelvic floor. We do clams first. And on your exhale, lifting that right knee up and lowering down. As you lift the right leg, feel the core working on the left side to stabilize you there, so you make sure that you're not rolling your pelvis back, but just moving that right hip around a neutral spine. Right glute working. And we've got 3, 2, and 1. Now the entire right leg lifts up. On your exhale, inhale. As your right leg lifts up, that left core engages. Keeping that stable neutral pelvis is going to ensure that you're getting great work through your right glute. Check in with your back. Make sure those muscles aren't tense. And we've got 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg down. And then last side lying variation. That right leg's going to hover up again. And on the exhale, you press it straight. And inhale, bend it back in. As you press that right leg straight, really focus on the left core, that stays connected. Navel pulls in, pelvic floor lifts up. And we just move that right leg around the stable left pelvis. Right glute should be working really hard now. And we've got 3 more. And last 2. And last 1. Lower that leg down. Just going to turn onto my back for the stretch here. Cross that right leg over your left. Reach through if you like and pull it up. Just feeling that stretch in your right glute. We'll hold it for another inhale. And exhale. And lower down. Let's go ahead, turn all the way over onto your stomach. I have my legs wide to take some pressure off the low back. Now, to find a neutral spine in prone, you want to feel that you are going to lift your navel away from the mat. You want to feel that your pubic bone is anchored down into the mat, and that's going to keep a long neutral spine. So, maintaining all of that, I'm going to inhale to prepare. On your exhale, lift the navel to the spine, keeping that neutral spine. Reach your arms down and start to lift your upper back. You'll want to keep your gaze down rather than looking ahead of you. And inhale and down. Exhale, engage those low abs, and then lifting your upper back around a neutral pelvis. And lower down. Lift on your exhale. Feel like you're lifting from the center of your body. If you feel tension going into your low back, then you're lifting too high, and just keep it a little bit smaller for right now. Abs in, shoulder blades down. Inhale. Exhale. Check in with that pubic bone. Make sure it's still anchored down on the mat. And we've got 2 more here. And last one. lower down. I'm going to circle my arms around, and so they come right under my forehead. Now we're going to start to move the legs again around this neutral pelvis. So navel lifted up away from the mat. Pubic bone is anchored down. You should feel your abs engaged just lying here. And then we're going to start to lift the legs. So inhale to prepare. On your exhale, lifting that right leg up, maintaining the stability again on the left side of your pelvis. And we'll just stay on the right leg at first. Makes it a little bit easier just to maintain that stability on the left side. And again, just lifting this leg only as far as you can without arching your back or rotating your pelvis. You should feel your right glute working to do that. Just 2 more here. And last one, right leg. Then lower down, we're on to the left leg. So navel in, pubic bone anchored down, and lifting that left leg only as high as you can without losing your neutral spine. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last 2. And last one. And lower down. Let's add the arms onto this too. So we're going to go back to the right leg. You can keep your right hand where it is, but you are going to reach your left hand out towards the corner of your mat. I'm going to slightly press this right arm down, right shoulder down away from the ear, so you feel engagement through the right armpit. I've got my navel lifted, pubic bone anchored down, and then on my next exhale, I'm lifting both the left arm and the right leg. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, engage my abs first, and then lifting my arm and leg only as high as I can, maintaining my neutral spine. Work still in the right glute. You should not feel that your low back muscles are working very hard here. And definitely no strain in the low back. Give a slight lift of the upper body with that left arm. And 2 more. Last one. Switching to the left hand down, right hand reaches towards the corner of that mat. We're going to find a little stability in the left shoulder blade. So left shoulder down away from your ear. Feel some engagement in the left armpit. Navel lifted, low back long. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift that left leg and right arm. The chest lifts a little bit too because you're pressing down with that left hand. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lifting around your neutral spine. Left glute lifts you up. Think about lifting the right arm from below, like around your shoulder blade. And we've got 3 more. Last 2. Last one. Hands under your shoulders. Navel lifted. Just press up into a child's pose. 2, counter stretch. Give your back a little bit of a stretch here. You're going to take a couple deep breaths. Inhale, expand your low ribs, especially the back. And exhale, letting all that tension go. 1 more breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale. I'm going to roll my spine up, so I'm kneeling, and then coming up to tall kneel. So here, I'm going to have my ribs back, my navel into the spine, and then you've got that lift of your pelvic floor, so slight tailbone forward towards the pubic bone, sit bones, bottom tip of that tailbone, have an imaginary lift up towards your navel. And so that's that lift of your pelvic floor. Your spine is pretty neutral. You don't want to be arched here or really have your tailbone excessively tucked under. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your head. When you do that, make sure that it hasn't made your ribs pop. So again, just check in, ribs in, navel in, tailbone slightly forward towards the pubic bone. And then here, we're just going to bend, side bend around this neutral pelvis. So inhale to prepare. On your exhale, lift your navel up and in, and take a little side bend to the left, lengthening the right side of your body. Inhale up. Exhale, lifting up and over a big ball. When you do this, you don't want to go so far that you compress the left side of your spine. You want to feel like you're lengthening on both sides of your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Up, and last one to the right. Go ahead and sit back down on your heels. Just going to turn around to seated. I'm going to work on a little balance and stability here in seated. So I'm not sitting completely straight up here. I've got a little bit now of a C curve to my spine. So that slight pelvic tilt, navel in. I'm going to feel that lift of the bottom tip of the tailbone of the sit bones up, and that's giving me that little lift of my pelvic floor. Then inhale to prepare. On my exhale, I'm going to use the low abs to float the left leg up off of the mat. Inhale it back down. Exhale, right leg. That lift coming from the right sit bone, the pelvic floor, the low abs drawing in. Inhale. And exhale, left. And right. Finding those deepest muscles to lift the leg up. You shouldn't be feeling any tension in your quads or your low back. Let's go one more single leg on the left. And right. Now we're going to look to balance with both legs up. If that doesn't work for your back, just keep going with the single legs. Just going to inhale to prepare, and your exhale, lift from that all the way down from that left sit bone. Find that pelvic floor engagement. And then on your next exhale, the right leg coming up as well. And we're balancing here deep in the core. You can keep your hands here. You can let them go for a little greater balance challenge. And another breath, inhale. And exhale, transverse abdomenis in, pelvic floor lifts up, hands back down, and lower your feet down. Going to go ahead and roll all the way back down to your mat. Taking your left leg into your chest as you do that, and you can let the right leg go straight. So you're still trying to have a neutral spine, even pelvis. Feel that engagement on the right side of your core. And on your exhale, you're just going to kick that left leg as straight as you can. Inhale, bend. And exhale. Stay connected to your breath. Stay connected to your core. Got two more. The last one, hold that left leg just as straight as works for your body. And we point and flex. Still moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last two. And last one. Slide that left leg straight. Use your abs. Bring that right leg up and grab it. We're going to inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten. Staying connected to that breath. Allow that to help you stay connected to your low abs. So your spine is still neutral here. You don't want to have your pelvis tucked or arched. And then holding that right leg just as straight as it works for you. And you start to point and flex. Inhale. Exhale. And last two. Last one. Bend that right leg. Slide it back on the mat. And then left leg is going to slide up again. This time you've just kind of slidden those left toes up to your right knee. Again, this is like our bent knee fall out at the beginning. You are going to let that left knee fall out only in the range where your right hip stays anchored down. And then once you've done that, go ahead and kick the left leg straight out. Toes back to your knee and knee up to the ceiling. Keep going with that left leg. Knee falls out, maintaining a stable pelvis. Keep the left thigh still, reach the left foot out, and knee back up to the ceiling. We've got 3 more times. Move with your breath. Feel that core stability on the right side. Engagement through that left sit bone. And last one. Kick it straight. Bend it in and slide the left leg down. And right toe slide up to the left knee. Knee starts straight up to the ceiling. We're going to really work to keep this left hip anchored down. Knee out to the side. And kick it straight. Bend it. And knee up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just staying connected to that breath. Every time you take your exhale, feel the navel pull in more. Pelvic floor stays lifted. Go for 2 more. Last one. Slide that right leg down. Reaching the arms overhead. And then pulling knees back in for 1 more stretch. If it works for your body, you can curl up, give yourself a big hug. And then either rolling up to seated here, or if it feels better to your back, you can turn to one side, press up to seated, and you are done. Thank you so much for working out with me today.